Right, welcome to this edition of North Yorkshire Rugby Club News. Today we're going to look at the Yorkshire Cups. Lots of changes since I really remember the Cups. Last season only 32 teams played in all 4 Cup competitions. The Yorkshire Cup used to be for the top 28 clubs plus the Shield semi-finalists. This last season, 9 played in that cup, 8 played in the Shield, 8 in the Silver Trophy and 9 in the Vase. Why do the majority of clubs not want to play in county cups?
Well, I'm looking at that, Keith, and I just think it's something to do with the fact is you've got a bonus ball at the end of the day by going down to Twickenham, and a lot of teams just can't afford to do these things.
Yeah.
They can't. I remember years ago, Castleford were one of the teams. You played in the Yorkshire Cup and stuff, or the Yorkshire Shield, and they were the first teams to drop out because they said it's not worth their while in entering any of these competitions.
Yeah.
But now it's a different matter. I would have thought it would have been something which they would look forward to playing cup games.
Yeah, I mean,
especially if it was played during the season.
It's an extra expense, I suppose. And if you're playing away and you get beat, then you've no chance of recouping your money from the next round when you might get a home.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I think that might be one of the things, and I think people have so much to do otherwise, and I think family life is probably. I mean, I know, and you probably know.
Don't forget, we had a family life.
When we played, don't matter what the wife said, you went and played rugby.
That's right.
And then you stayed and had a drink, and then you came home probably 8:30 and took the wife out for a drink, and that was it. But now I think
that's like going home to the pet, isn't it, and taking the pet out and giving it a drink.
Yeah. I seem to remember, going back to, let's say, 77, the Silver Trophy games were played before Christmas and the final was before Christmas. And the winners of that, or it might be been both finalists, went through to the Shield.
Yes.
And the Shield and the Cup games were played throughout to spring, right? And the winner of the Shield that year, their reward was to get an entry into the Cup match, Yorkshire Cup matches, the following years.
That's right, yes.
Hence the reason Northallerton played Roundy in the first round.
That's right.
Right. So, but again, I mean, there's only 12 teams in the leagues now. There used to be 14.
That's right. Yeah. But in the day when we played, you
tried to play every Saturday in the season.
You played every Saturday, and you would probably play home and away both games.
Yeah.
You would play a team at the start of the season, say at Middlesbrough, and then 3/4 of the way through the season you would play Middlesbrough again.
Yeah. And if you didn't have a fixture, the fixture secretary
would find you one.
Well, you go into a pool, and if you couldn't get one in the pool, he was in trouble. I mean, how many times have we said, "Oh, Bradley ain't got us a fixture this week."
Mm.
And poor old Alan Bradley got it in the neck.
He flogged his pan out trying to get fixtures.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think we'll go through who's in it this season. I'll just read it out from here. Yorkshire Cup, round 1 is Motown versus York, Heath versus Morley, Bradford Salem versus Goole, Doncaster Phoenix versus Huddersfield, Ilkley versus Middlesbrough, Old Broadlonians versus Cleckheaton, Sandal versus Moulton and Norton, and Wetherby versus Pontefract. And already in that list there, we've got Moulton and Norton pulling out, walk over to Sandal, and Ilkley walk over to Middlesbrough. So already we've got teams dropping out. Yorkshire Shield, Bridlington, this is the preliminary rounds, Bridlington versus Olencians, Northallerton versus Baildon, Ripon versus Rishworthians, Westleads versus Pocklington, and round 1, Bramley Phoenix versus Halifax Vandals, Dinnington versus Keighley, Watherp-on-Dearne versus Wensleydale, and Yarnbury versus Roundegians. In the Silver Trophy, round 1, Barnsley versus West Park Leeds, Rotherham Phoenix versus Thorn, Weakley Hills versus Bradford and Bingley, round 2, Leeds Corinthians versus Castleford, Old Otley Ensigns versus Halifax, and in the Yorkshire Vars round 1, Airborough versus Knaresborough, Nottingley versus Stocksbridge, Worthley versus Maltby, round 2, Nestle Roundtrees York versus Hessel. So in the North Yorkshire area we had 8 teams entered in the whole of the cup competitions and 2 have pulled out, so we only have 6 teams that seem to be interested in the Yorkshire Cup competitions.
I find that hard to. I can understand a lot of these teams are concentrating on the leagues, which they're playing in now. But at the same time, the cup competition, it's always exciting to play in the cup.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're home or away or whatever it is, it's you get a win on that and it gives you a boost.
Yeah.
And I just look at some of these teams that I'm a bit disappointed with 1 or 2 of them for pulling out. I mean, and
well,
it's
also some of the teams that haven't entered.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, that's true as well. You know,
I mean, there might be reasons why they've pulled out. Let's say Malton and Norton, a lot of farmers there.
Yes,
so August, you're still harvesting.
Yes, yeah, I can understand that.
So,
but I mean, when did you say these games are going to take place?
Well, they range from August the 16th up to August, well, there's some September the 7th as well.
Why would you want to be playing rugby in the hottest month, supposedly the hottest month of the season?
I always used to believe that you couldn't play rugby until September.
Well,
because when you had a friendly match, pre-season match, the reason you'd played 4 periods of 20 minutes was because it wouldn't be classed as a proper rugby match.
That's right, yeah. So you take water on board, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I just don't understand it.
No.
But
I don't think they have a complete understanding of what players are going through nowadays.
No. Right, what we'll just quickly go through is the teams that are still playing in our patch.
Yeah.
Try and guess what's going on, because we don't know who's training and what's happening or anything like that. So the first one we'll come to is Moortown versus York.
Now I know York are your team, Keith.
Yeah.
I would imagine that York are all prepared for the season as we are talking now. They'll be in training.
I'll be quite honest, with Grange Stedman and the other coaches he's got, I've never seen training like it before.
But can you overtrain amateur players?
At the moment, all the guys are really enjoying it.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah. So what you're saying is York are going to have a fantastic season?
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully. I'm a politician, I'll sit on the fence, right? But hopefully, yes. They've got a coach down there, as an assistant coach.
It's going to make a difference, yeah.
No, he's an assistant coach.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you who he is, but he turns up every Tuesday and Thursday. Right. Northallerton versus Baildon. Now Northallerton's your team.
Now I know Northallerton's my team, and I've got a feeling that Northallerton have just to say started training now.
Right.
And to be ready for that game in 2 or 3 weeks' time, I don't think they will make it.
Yeah.
Not to the standard they want.
Yeah. The only good thing is they've got an home fixture.
Yes.
Right.
Which will be good on a Saturday. We can go down there and have a beer or two, talk things through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And put the world to rights.
Yeah.
Whether we win or, I mean, Baildon are in a higher league than us, so we played them in the past.
Yeah.
we're never quite sure what they're going to be like, and I don't think anybody knows what teams are going to come
I'm,
forward.
I'm not too sure that Northampton were expecting this date for this fixture.
They weren't.
Because on the Facebook they're advertising, I'm sure it's on the 31st, a pre-season barbecue.
Yes.
So whether they were expecting to be playing on that day or not, I don't know. Right, the next one is Ripon versus Old Rishworthians. Now Ripon played really well last season.
Yes.
And with the home fixture, I would
Yeah.
think Ripon will do it.
Oh, I think Ripon will. They should have it. Get off to a good start.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Like you're saying, you're never quite sure what these teams are going to be made up of.
No.
You know, I mean, I would imagine Wetherby are going to be a team to watch this year. With
Whetherby got promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether they were promoted. Yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of young lads in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Watton-Dearn versus Wensleydale.
That could go either way.
Yeah,
That could go either way, but I will take Wensleydale for that one, I think. I know the
I quite like it, but Watton-Dearn at home.
Yeah, they could take a bit of beating, but I'll just as a pun,
Yeah. Right. Okay. First disagreement of the season.
Good.
Airborough versus Knaresborough. Now, Knaresborough struggling getting games out, teams out last year.
Yeah, it all depends again, doesn't it? I mean, what staff they've got.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna turn a team out consistently this year, because they're starting to come good at end of season.
Yeah.
And it's just a question of getting those players together again.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will.
And Nestle Rowntree's York versus Essel. Now, Nestle Rowntree's were the losing finalist in the Vars last season, and they came good towards the end of the season. Did they finish third, I think?
I think they finished third, yes.
Yeah. So that'll be a good game, I think.
Yeah, I think it will.
So,
you know, it's like, you know, it's obviously a close. They're not far off each other, them two teams, are they?
No.
So I've never really known too much about the Rowntrees.
Yeah.
I've never known. Yeah, I knew they were setting up a team years ago, but I didn't know how far they've come along.
Yeah.
But they seem to be doing well.
Yeah. They are turning two teams out this season, so that's good for them.
Well, hopefully a lot of these sides will be turning three seasons.
Well,
hopefully.
I understand Richmondshire are turning two teams out this season.
It's getting fixtures.
Yeah,
it's getting fixtures for them. That's the thing.
Well, they have got into league, so they've got fixtures.
Yeah.
And what's the other bit of strange news? I understand, might be wrong here, but I understand Hunslet Rugby League Club have formed a rugby union team. So but I know it's out of our area, but I just thought it was it's good to see rugby union expanding. So I think that's it for this week, Dave.
Yeah.
Sorry you've had to put up with us two this week. Previous weeks we've had some interviews, but couldn't get anybody this week, so it's us two. So
Dick and Dom.
Yeah.
But hopefully by next week or week after we should be back to normal.
Sue says when she sat in the other room listening to us, it's like last of the summer wine. So, right.
But you can't beat a bit of reminiscing.
No, you can't. Right.
No.
All the best then. See you later.
Cheers.